Hi guys, so today I'm going to be interviewing my friend Nelly over here.
Hi, I'm Nelly. I'm half Egyptian, half Lebanese. I live in Saudi Arabia. I'm 18 and I'm an international business major.
Okay, so I'll be asking you just a few questions today and to just hear your perspective on things. So the first time you came to the United States, what were some of the biggest differences that you noticed between Saudi and the United States?
Well, the first time I came to the US was 4 years ago. I went to New York and I noticed that it was a lot more crowded than it is over there. There's like a lot of buzz in New York and it's very like calm back home.
Okay, so what would you recommend to some of your fellow countrymen that are coming here to kind of deal with the culture shock?
I'd say they shouldn't just hang out with people that are from their own countries. They should try and like talk to other people to like get to know the place more.
Definitely, yeah. So, how is the school system here different than the school system back in Saudi?
Um, well, I did IB, and like it's a lot harder than it is like over here because over there we have to like there's a lot of papers, there's a lot of like memorization, like exams and stuff like that. Over here it's less hard because it's just like there's just a paper every once in a while, maybe an exam over here and there, unlike over there.
And how long was IB for you in Saudi? How long was
2
it?
years.
2 years? Your last 2 years of high school,
Yep.
right? Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to talking to you about like communication. So when you got here, were there any issues between like you communicating with international students that are not from your home country or from a country that like you can talk to people in Arabic to? So with people that you had to talk in English from different countries, were there any issues?
No, not really, because in Saudi there's many people from many different countries who don't necessarily just speak Arabic. So, and I lived in a lot of places, so like I'm pretty used to people from like different countries and stuff. So,
Okay, and were other people maybe surprised when they talked to you?
yeah, because usually they don't like they realize that I don't have an accent and they don't know where I'm from, so they always just go like, "Aren't you just from here?" So yeah.
Okay, and did you ever feel like discriminated or like that people were ignorant from other countries and said something stupid or offensive?
Sometimes, yeah, when they like when I do tell them that I'm like, for example, like from Saudi Arabia or whatever, like I lived in Saudi Arabia, some people do have some opinions on that. But yeah.
Okay, it does happen sometimes. What about students from your home country? I guess you lived in Egypt, you said, and a lot of different places, but let's talk about specifically Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Do you spend a lot of time with those students? And why would you recommend other students to spend more time or less time with people from their home countries?
I don't spend like I barely know any Saudi people over here, but I do know a lot of Egyptians here, and I used to spend a lot of time with them, especially last semester. But I do think that people should know people from different countries because it just adds to the experience.
Okay, definitely. What about spending time with American students here?
What about it?
Like, did you feel weird about talking to them, or did they have like a weird reaction to talking to you?
No.
No, everything was great.
Everything was great.
Okay, that's good. What about, so you obviously live on campus in Julius Sears. What are some of your opinions about living on campus versus living off campus? And also, you're living on campus next year, so why don't you tell us why did you choose to live on campus again?
Because it's convenient, like it's closer to everything. I don't have to like walk a lot, especially that it gets really cold over here in the winter. So it's just closer to like everything.
Okay, and what are some of the benefits that you feel are why people choose to live off campus after their freshman year?
I guess because like it's bigger and like they get to have their own kitchen, their own bathrooms, their own like everything, more privacy. So that's probably
Okay.
why.
So now I'm gonna ask you about work. So do you work here? Have you worked? And how much do you think that's important for international students that come here?
No, I didn't work, but I'm looking for a job next year, and I think that's important because you get to meet more people and like be more involved on campus if you work.
Okay, and do you think that's especially important for international students, or do you think it's not a big deal if they're American or international students?
I think everyone should try to get involved one way or another, but because many international students are coming like to a completely different place and everything, so it's more important for them to try and actually get the experience of getting to know like their surroundings and stuff, while like local students already know it. So
No, okay. And what about like, how did you hear about Mankato, about MSU Mankato, and why did you choose to come specifically here and not like to a different school?
I heard about it on the internet because I was gonna come to Minnesota, like just as a state in general, and I decided to come here. And what's your second question?
Like, why did you choose to come to Mankato and not a different school in Minnesota? And why did you actually even choose to come to Minnesota? You being from Saudi, I know a lot of people tend to want to go to California or Florida, Texas, wherever where it's warmer. You know, why did you choose to come to Minnesota?
Because I hate hot weather, because it's really hot in Saudi anyway, and I don't like it. I like colder places. And Minnesota specifically because it was like, we know some people around here like me and my family, so it was better. Like my dad felt safer me being here, and yeah.
Okay, good. And would you recommend some people from Saudi that are watching or Egypt to come to school here? Why or why not?
Yeah, it's really nice over here. Obviously, if you don't like cold weather, you shouldn't come here. But other than that, like the university is really great. People are really friendly. Professors are nice. So yeah, it's pretty nice here.
Okay, and after a full year that you've been here now, you've learned a lot. Obviously, you have more experience than you had when you got here. What would you recommend for incoming people from Saudi, for example, to do differently than what you did this year?
Like I said, get to know a lot more people from different places, and don't just be invested in people from your own country because you've already been around them your whole life. So yeah.
Definitely. Thanks, Nelly. If you guys have any questions, comment below and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.